Yeah, thank you so much, Satish. First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. And this is my first time, right, to speak on this Cognition 2025 conference event. And just was listening to the previous thing, the students were focusing their idea. Yeah, it was really good. So mostly I'm from Nepal, from Kathmandu, right? I'm based here. And I have been working since 2014 in this IT industry, and I did my bachelor in Dehradun also. I visited to India, right, back in 6 years ago. So without any delay, I like to just present my scheme.
Mm, Jairaj, looks like there is an issue. He got dropped off. Okay, before Jairaj joins, there was session happening in track two by Balaji. So if in case any of you want to join, feel free to join, or please continue to be here for Jairaj session. And Jairaj is from Kathmandu, Nepal. So he's here to give a session about his topic.
So we are being diverse and inclusive. Geography is not limiting us.
That's the reason virtual conference.
Yep, yep. In the meantime, folks, feel free to reflect on what you've seen, your thoughts. Anyone wants to join them, have thoughts to offer, or any other reflection, make
Uh,
use of the chat and the
yes,
feedback for sure.
just now launch the feedback for AA Gati teams. My bad.
We were all lost into that session. That was the beauty of it. So,
Yeah,
Yes.
hi.
Yeah, Rajesh, Ajay.
Yeah, hello. Just sharing my screen. Is my screen is visible?
Yes.
Yes, Jairaj.
Okay, thank you so much. Uh, So as I introduce myself, right, so I've been working on this IT industry and for the last couple of years, right, and I'm an executive member of A Association Nepal. So basically, A Association Nepal, we work with the government in terms of four agenda, data, policy, resources, and infrastructure. And I'm currently a part of IAS Incorporation. I deal with most of the SAP application and founder of a Basista solution. So you might have heard or might be buzzing a lots of word about the agentic AI, right? So before there was a generative AI, the hype was very high, right? Right now it is agentic AI, and most of uh, the developers, right, or the product manager who wants to add up the agentic AI in their organization. So the topic will be around that only. So whether the organization should adopt the agentic AI on their organization or not, whether they should go with the hype or whatever they are doing actually on their project, they should stick on that, right? So as we all know that most of the organization has adopted the AI into their ecosystem, right? So the organization who hasn't adapted the AI is still lag, right? So most of them, my point of view will be on the Nepal context, right? So that point of view I'll be sharing, and it would be most on the what I have observed, right? What I have explored within this duration. Uh, so first of all, I have figured out there are five things, right? The organization needs to have the framework for readiness for the agentic AI, right? First is the data foundation, right? So what type of data uh, the organization is capturing, right? Mostly the product, because if you are making the AI application, the foundation model comes, right? The foundation model can be uh, built from oneself or can be we can get from the vendors just like ChatGPT or Mistral or Google Gemini, right? So first of all, we need to ensure the quality of a data, whether the data is genuine or not, whether it is having the ethical things or not on that part, right? Means there should not be a fakeness of a data. It should be having the inclusive data, right? That point I'm trying to say on that part. So the next is about the infrastructure technology, right? So as we are making the AI, the GPU is needed, right? So whether the organization is ready to add up the GPU on its cost or not, right? Whether the budget is there or not, right? So those type of things we need to evaluate before going for a agentic AI to build the system, right? Then after, obviously, the talent and skill, right? You need to hire the developer, right? If there is no AI developers, you need to test, right? And for training also the cost of the resources will come. So these are the things, right? And the fourth point is about the culture and governance. So whether the market is there or not, just like if I'm building the agentic AI, whether the market is actually viable or not for that product, right? There are two things on that, whether you create a market or if there is a market, you add up the new policy, right? Because some of the policy might not add up the things, right? So you say to the policy maker that we need such type of things, and based on that, the policy is made, right? And if I talk about the Nepal context, recently we have national AI draft policy, right, which will become might be after 6 months, right? So in there are the guidelines that if we are making the AI application, that what are the things ethical concern should be there on that part, right? And the lastly is obviously the leadership, right? So whether the leader of that organization is actually want to grow the organization or not, right? So whether the leader have the vision or not for the growth of an organization if they are building the agentic AI system, right? So these five are the readiness framework for any organization to build application for the agentic AI, right? Before there was generative AI, right? After agentic AI, there might be the physics AI, right? AGI might be there. So there might also be the readiness framework on that, but that the future will tell on that the time will tell. But now these five are the foundation layer where I think that the organization should add up for the readiness framework on this part. So as I told about the readiness framework, right? So the question here, there might be the beginner, right? So what might be the agentic AI, right? Because the as a AI we have been talking, right? It is the artificial intelligence who is able to do reasoning, which is able to do writing, which is able to do so and so on, right? Means basically the manual work that can be automated is known as a AI, right? Or any definition which the individual is defining, right? But actually the agentic AI is an subset of artificial intelligence only that operates with the autonomy, intent, and contextual awareness, refining what possible in the business automation. So agentic AI is nothing, but it is more about doing the jobs on the background, right? So as you think, where we don't need a specific so and tax, right? So it will do the tax automatically. And what are the key characteristics of this agentic AI? Access context and add up action independently. initial tasks without direct human intervention. Just like you say the chat GPT, right? So if we are saying something on the chat GPT, just like I want to search the weather of Kathmandu or the India Delhi, right? So what the chat GPT will do is that it will try to go to the weather.com and try to get the data and show the data, the weather of Delhi is 20 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, right? So basically, it is going to the website, means it is going to the caller or it might be so and so, right? And it will collect the data. So the job of agentic AI is not only to search from the web, but to search from different websites, from different chatbots, from different journals, and so and so. So that is the definition of agentic AI. And till 2035, most of the organization, the industry will be shifting from generative AI to the agentic AI, right? There are lots of platform that is being developed on basis of agentic AI, just like MCP, right? So that is just a universal platform. But when the MCP came, the people know the people knew about the agentic AI from there, right? So lots of organization are adapting the MCP, right? The universal adapter for making the AI application on that part. So let's see that how the agentic AI works. So first of all, it is a first of all the user do request, right? There is a agentic AI, right? Might be some of the you said ChatGPT or Mistral or any model which you have, right? So how is it's three things. It's first of all perception, right? So perception means how you are getting the input, right? So the data can be got from the camera, text, right, audio, sensors, right, from the IoT. So first is the perception of a data, right? And right now most of the modal and multimodal, where there is a text, there is a video, there is an image, and so, right? Then after, when the data is there, then the data is being processed, right? So that is known as a reasoning, right? So based on there are lots of frameworks, right? Just like launching, right? And so what does it do is that it holds the input right into the memory, and based on the historical data, based on certain algorithm, the decision is made, and that is known as a knowledge base, right? Using the RAG, right? Retrieval generate or argumentation, right? Which is now very popular, right? On that part. And the last step is about the action, right? So these three are the things if we are making the agentic AI system, right? Because without the perception of an input, means the uh, without the priority of input, right? What type of input we are getting, right? So based on that input only the action is being targeted. And then after the executing tasks will be done, just like physical access in the real world or the monitors on that part. So so this is the general overview of how the agentic AI work, but actually it is a hype or it is a reality, right? So most of the companies has made the agentic AI system reality also, but still it is a hybrid because actually it cannot go into the deeper part, right? There is still the limitation on the memory management, right? On the decision making, right? Just like ChatGPT or the Gemini Pro is good on the reasoning, just like DeepSeek is also good at the reasoning, right? But they limits on the memory hold, right? But might be in the future uh, the memory holding of the context window might be better on that part, right? So as we move on, for any organization, there are some of the things, right? Uh, for any technology to come into their organization, just like before, there used to be a survey, there used to be an interview, right? Which will be a time taking, just like if I'm adopting the agentic AI into my system, because agentic AI is just a technology, right? What actually is right is the domain. On which domain you are trying to build the product, right? Agentic AI is just a technology which is automated for your product. whether the product will be able to do the task automate or not, right, without the human intervention. So the traditional way was just like we need to do the survey, right? There used to be a failure of organization complexity, right? There was a limited time of scope, right? Means there were biasness, right? Miscruel insight means the insight were bad, wrong, right? So, so how, because in the traditional, there were the lack of knowledge, right? Because there were only the limited resources where we can get the genuine data. That was the problem before, Miss. When we are doing the assignment, readiness assignment for any technological stack to add up in the organization, right? Uh, but with that said, uh, if we add up the agentic AI into the organization, is agentic AI in terms of building the application, right? So what the product will do is that it will autonomously work, right? So without the human intervention, because the AI agent main goal is to do autonomously only, just like self-driving car, right? So where there is no driver, but the car or taxi will drive, right? Just like in the software also, there shouldn't be any human intervention. The software should run automatically, right? So that's the goal, whether your organization want to achieve that or not. Then after perseverance and act, right? So decision making, whether you need a decision for a woman or not, if the decision is from the AI, whether the decision is right or not, that also the agentic AI will promise that if you are making, just like I'm making a report, right, for a hydro project, right, and I want to analyze my investor, right, so I don't want a woman uh, to gather the information. I want my agentic AI to gather the information based on the web, right, and suggest me for my executive member, right? If that is the scenario, yeah. So agentic AI could be the uh, could be the uh, could be the software which can make you decision making more powerful, right, into the executive level. Then after uh, automate assignment, right? So this is more about uh, so if we are doing some project management things, right? So who is given the task, right? The AI will decide that who is good at what, right? So yeah, so this is mostly on the organization part, whether you want to assign the task, means the task of the project level, right? The scope of a work, right? Not the task is not defined by the human, but the task is defined by the AI, right? Human means the team lead or the project manager, right? Those type of things. Monitor and add up, right? So yeah, so agentic AI also says that it is good to monitor. Means monitor is basically the analyze of a data, right? The past data, not the future data, but the past data. So it is good. So if these four things are good for your organization, right? So you should move with the agentic AI application development to what the agentic AI promises, right? And as we talk, right, the agentic AI, so there is also the core challenges, right? So most of the AI application fails, right? The Gartner has predicted that 85% of the AI project fails without the proper preparation, right? Just like if we are making the AI system, that what are the core technical things, right? Not the core technical things, but also the project summation, right? The project overall scope, right? The budgeting, the timeline, right? Those type of things. The market readiness, whether the AI project is viable or not, right? So based on that, if we don't pre-assume, then the AI project fails. Just like for me also, I was into the icebreaker, right? We were making the AI product, right, for the prediction of this say the content, right, the weather, right. Based on your persona, you will get the suggestion that what do you like, what do you not like, right? Just like if you are going to the any restaurant, based on your persona, the app will suggest you, right? So those type of things. but we failed. Why we failed? Because the AI product was too earlier in the market, right? Because here, if you go to the hotel, there is you go to the hotel, there is a menu, right? And based on the menu, you just uh, to decide that what you want to eat or not, right? But we were making the AI system where the app will decide you that if you go to that hotel, you don't need to say to the waiter, right? The AI system will say that which dishes you want to order, but that order doesn't work. It might work when the AGI things will come, but now the market is not ready, the consumer is not ready. Still, there is a traditional way that if you go to the hotel, there is a waiter, you call the menu, you call the waiter, see the menu and order the food, right? So that just I gave you the one example, but there might be a different examples, right, of the failure of a AI project. But as the government is initiating, right, as the more individual are interested on the AI things, the success rate is also good. So back in 2020 to 24, there was failure of AI project because lots of things were coming, right? Lots of updates were coming, what to do, what to not do. So there was a confusion state. But I think after this 2025, means in this 2025 also, the AI things are stable, the fundamentals, the core, right? The basics, how the AI system will operate, right? What are the guidelines, right? So the templates is ready. The standardization of AI things are ready. So I assume that the success rate will be high, right? Rather than failure, right? Then after, yeah, key gap in the data infrastructure, technical skill, and adaptability process. I told about the hotel example, right? So yeah, these are the things. So technical manpower, whether they are able to go with a means whatever is the project scope, whether the challenge is being done or not, right? So those type of things comes when making the agentic AI or AI system, right? Uh, then after ethical brains, negative ROI. So these are the organization things, right? It may depend upon the different organization. So then after, what we need to see is that I have segregated into the pillars, pillar one, pillar two, pillar three, right? So first of all, we need to say see data infrastructure and government, right? So whether the there is a GPU or not, right? The low cost GPU is not or not for building the agentic AI, right? Because for building the agentic AI, you need a massive volume of GPU, right? I'm not talking with a few data, a few lines of data. I'm talking about the if you are building for 100 million of customer, right? So for that you need a uh, uh, massive amount of GPU on that part. So the organization should be ready for that also, right? Just like we can go with the cloud, right? AWS, Azure, or in premises also. So these are some of the fact, right? 95% accurate data. So some of the critical data set we have figured out, data integrity. There are the issues on that part and policy level, right? So if these things, the data accuracy, data integration, policy adaptation, these if three things are properly uh, summarized by the organization, has worked on the organization, then only the agentic AI application can be 100% deployable, right? The technical capability and talents, just like team training, right? So these are some of the data which I have given from the Nepal context, right? That might not be relevant on your part, right? But uh, as I told, right? So making this agentic AI is very complex, right? So first of all, you need to train that uh, team, right? Then after there is a retention also, whether the just like you have the project scope for 5 years, right? And if the team goes within the 2 years, what will be the scenario, right? That on the things. And another difficulty is about the this DevOps part, right? Which is one for the AI is ML ops, right? Whether the technical team is having the maturity or not for the deployment, because deploying the agentic AI is very complex, right? It is not like what we see But now with the help of MCP, context protocol, the deployment has been little bit easy rather than previous, right? Because there used to be a lots of framework, right, for the deployment of ML. But now, if we are building for the agentic AI, try to use for the MCP, right? Go with the MCP flow for all the things for the pipeline, for the deployment, and from the this deployment, right? So that will create the easiness in the organization. Ethical challenge and risk management. So biasness, right? So as I told, right? So for every model, first of all, we need to check that whether the model is having the biases or not, right? If it is a bias, then we shouldn't use those type of model, right, into the organization, right? And there should be the inclusion on that model, right? Ethical policy, right? And then after incident response. So those type of things, just like incident response means if the agentic AI fails, right? So what should be the failure? How should be the failure mitigated, right? Those type of things we need to see on that part. Process reengineering and adaptability, just like automation potential, employee adaptation, automatic time, right? So if we make a agentic AI into our organization, right? Just like for a project management. So what it will do is that it will identify, right, the project, okay? Then after it will say that at what time the project will be delivery, right? Because we have feed the data, right? And based on the historical data, it can analyze the things, right? And based on that, your organization can be automated in terms of project, right? Project automation, right? Whatever the new project is coming on here, and the employee will also be happy on that part. Why I'm saying happy? Because uh, there is a myth that AI will ruin the job, right? If we don't learn the AI, most of the company will fire us, right? Is whoever knows the AI will be the will be the job holder, or who doesn't know the AI will be fired from the jobs and so on, right? But that is not, that is just a myth, right? If you use the AI into your organization, right, there will be a productivity tool, right? The employee will benefit the productivity tool and can get a better product, right? Because they are gaining the they are getting the suggestion, right? Might be for the junior. It might not be, because the junior might needs to learn the basic things, the fundamental. But for the senior or for the executive guy, the AI will be good for their productivity, right? And that can enhance the performance of a company, right? And as well as the time, right? Just like if you are doing some manual work, and if you add up the AI, mostly the agentic AI things, right? The manual things can be automated, and when there is automation, the percentage of a time can be reduced on that part. As we are talking about the evaluation, right? The organization readiness for adopting the agentic AI. So there are 5 things on that part, right? Just like process maturity, technical infrastructure, governance framework, workforce preparation, strategic alignment. So these 5 things are there. If everything is aligned each other, right, then this agentic AI can be adoptable in the organization, or the agentic product can be adopted in the organization, right? Because once it is aligned, right? First time it will be difficult, right? Because first time whenever we uh, create some project, it might be difficult. But once we have some valuable added value, then whatever you do, there will be a good framework, or there will be a nice architecture to flew your organization step on that part, right? So on process maturity assignment, so I won't go through one by one, right? Because this is actually when your organization want to add up the agentic AI or not, right? There are two things on adopting. First of all is the product, whether you want to build a product on the agentic AI. And the second one is that using the agentic AI, you are making your organization work structure nice, right? In terms of procurement management or in terms of project valuation or in terms of anything your structure of a company, right? So there are two approaches. The point of view is there, right? There is not only the deployment process, but there is the adaptation of a organization, right? So uh, as I won't go to the deeper on that, uh, because I think that first of all, we need to understand that are we actually, is 2025 is actually the era to add up the agentic AI into our organization, or it is to or we are to means only to add up this agentic AI into the organization for the performance management or KPIs and so on, right? First of all, we need to think on that. If we get that answer, then yeah, uh, means go with the agentic AI and of means agentic AI through the software or through the apps, right? And you can add up onto their organization. So that's my thought, right? So let's see on this technical infrastructure and governments. So yeah, so technical infrastructure, data architecture and quality, API connectivity between systems, cloud infrastructure capability, real-time analytics capability, right? So these are the basic things, right, where the organization builds the software, right, on that part. So why the agentic AI is here. So if you see here, organization without strong data integration should prioritize this before advancing to sophisticated agentic AI. So that means, so if you are making the system right, that is that is working nicely, that is working good, right? And your client is also happy, right? You want to make a agentic AI just to automate the things, just to reduce the time, right? And want to add up the new architecture or the new technology into the organization so that we can get a more client. If your thought process is that, right? But if your thought process is I'm I just want to showcase the AI, means the AI product, right? There might be anything, right? The AI, I think it is very used if I talk on that part. Just I want to showcase the product on the AI, but I want to work with the manual things, right? Whatever the things was there, right? Just like Agile process, I want to go with Agile. I want to stick with that, and I want to organize my product on that time. That is also good, right? So the decision is mostly on the leadership, right? Which I have told on the first slide. The leadership will decide that whether the agentic AI will be helpful for their organization or not. The so and so call on that part. So these are some of the implementation roadmap, right? Just like foundation process automation, the basic workflow of a foundation model, enhance intelligence, right? Machine learning things on the part, hybrid autonomy, right? On the things just like high value process area. If you have a large scale of a project, how do you work on that part, right? So you are working hybrid or not on that on those type of things, right? Integrated agentic system, right? Developing interconnected intelligence system where you are making the multiple APIs, right, through the different vendors, right? Not only with the one data source, you are connecting with the many data source, right? On that part, because if you are connecting with the many data source, then your reasoning model will be good, right? If there is only one connector, then that is not the AI agent system, right? The actual AI system is that where you have a multi-connector, right? And lastly is that whether this AI agent is transforming your business model or not, right? Whether in the operation, in the customer experience, right? Uh, the the things are going smooth or not, right? If those are going smooth, yeah, agentic AI is good for the organization readiness to evaluate. So these are some of the benefits, right, for transformative business one operation efficiency, in experience experience business agility, improve compliance, strategic focus, competitive advantage. So this I don't want to go deeper because this is more about the business side of things, right? So common challenges, suppose if I want my organization to migrate to the agentic AI, right? Means the two things which I have told, right? On that part, what are the key challenges? First of all, the change resistance from my workforce. The workforce which I have is able to learn the new things or not, is able to learn the AI things or not, right? If they are not, then I had to hire the new one, right? Then the technical complexity and integration, right? Ethical consideration and accountability, legal system integration, skill gap in the organization. So mitigation strategy, education and clear communication about role enhancement, implementation without content use cases, right? API layers and middleware solution, training program and strategy partnership. So these are some of the challenges while the organization will face, right, while adapting the agentic AI through the product or through the hierarchy to use the productivity tool of agentic AI, right? So the future is good on the agentic AI. So just like the process maker CEO has told, the ability to have the best of both world makes it possible to automate complex process and scale to automate complex job function, right? Means if there is a complex job function, if there is automation on the process, then agentic AI is a good, right? According to the CEO of Process Maker, right? So the takeaways, organization must assign readiness across 5 critical dimensions, which I have told on the slide. Success requires true blending of structure without autonomy, right? So there shouldn't be a one person for the decision maker. It should be a inclusiveness, right? Whether to add up or not. Focus on the strategy advantage, right? If I am adopting the agentic AI, whether that will be good for my business or not, right? Just don't go with the hype or whatever is the market, whether that will bring the business or not, whether that will bring the profit or not on that part. Build foundation for the last competitive advantage, right? So yeah, foundation is very important for building the agentic AI, right? So what is your domain knowledge? Based on that, you can build system, right? Uh, so conclusion. So agentic AI is here, right? But as I think that it is very early adopter, right? On my part, but I think in the market might be in the Nepal it is already adopter, but in the US or in the Western country, they might be very far from us, right? So if you are a student, build with a small project of 5 to 6 month pilot, mostly the pilot project to validate that the agentic AI will work or not. But for the organization, you need to see the readiness, the framework, right? Which I have told 5 point. Invest on the foundation pillar, just like data, talent, and ethics, right? So the data is good. There is no biasness on the data. There is a talent, but there is unethical things on the AI things that doesn't work. So these three should be aligned. Data, good data, without having the fakeness, the talent, and the ethical, mostly more responsible, right? Those type of things are there. Ethical part is there, right? And foster a culture for adaptability and continuous learning. So means there should be a culture of relearning, right? Learn, right? There should be a culture of teaching to others, workshops, hackathon, so and so, right? So yeah, so these are the things. And so if you want to learn more on this part, uh, it will be good, just like from the project management point of view, right? You can go to this product compass.pm, right? Uh, first of all, to build the AI application, you need to know the basic concept, right? I'm telling you about the for the student, right? The machine learning things. Then after prompt engineering, the fine tuning, right? Now comes the RAG, right? RAG also vector DB, document DB, knowledge graph, right? Then after in the AI agent, there is a LangChain, phi data is there, right? And so and so, all are good, right? So no, all is good on their own things only, right? It depends upon that what is your use case and how you are adopting on that part, right? For the AI prototyping and building, so there are different vendors, right? Just like Firebase Studio, uh, Lovable is there, right? In infrastructure also there is a Supabase. You can use Supabase, right? Supabase is good for the student, right? Whoever is doing the startup project, go with the Supabase, right? The foundation model, you should be very clear on the foundation model. How does it works? If you have a LLM, how the tokenizer is happening, how you are doing the vectorization, right? Those type of things, right? And the evaluation also, just like there is a Prometheus, right? Means there are certain evaluation framework, right, which you can use, right? Unit test is there, error analysis there, right? Just you can find out on that evaluation part. So that is the more of the technical things on that part. So these are my things. So it depends upon, yeah, it depends upon the organization, that how the organization will adopt the agentic AI system, right? And how the organization will use agentic AI to develop their product. So this is only my talk. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jay. Well, guys, you've been listening to him very, very attentively, right? Let's check. So he hailed from which part? Type in into the chat and let's see how attentive we've been. But Jay, the way you focused, you've highlighted the foundation pillars. You talk about the ethical data, not only just going about it. Looks like we are really connecting the dots because we had Anmula Prasad talking yesterday how you can go about it at the enterprise level. So looks like this is definitely going in the right direction for people to see and connect the people. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Jay, just to add, you have given the whole glimpse of how an organization can transform into agentic AI, because now everyone is worried like, okay, how AI is going to take my job. And now you have clearly
Yeah.
mentioned like for AI to take your job, you need to have data and you need to have the
Yes.
5 pillars to understand why it is needed. If you don't have the data, I love the wording from Gartner where you said like 85% is failing if you don't have a proper data. That's what
Yeah.
it shows us the importance why data is important. Thanks for bringing it. And that feels
And
secure for us, like our job, sir.
Yes. Thank you so much.
certainly, it also tells us to go and learn about that good agentic AI for sure. And people, just for the records, right? We are all very organic people. We do understand. We come from different geographies, and hence our accent. What Jay meant was, it's not any woman. He meant anyone. I'm just setting it straight for everyone to understand. You all understand his intent, right? That's where we stick to original. Thank
Uh,
you, Jay. I
Rekha,
Thank you
mean,
seems
so
like
much.
there is a
Thank you.
question in the chat
yeah.
from Saiba, like can agentic AI work independently or through other solutions like a package CRM product? Hey, can you take it?
Yeah, so agentic, as I told, right, agentic AI is autonomous, right? So autonomous is basically where it works itself, right? So where there is no command, right? So if we have a CRM product also, just like I'm taking the example of a SAP because I'm working on that. So SAP have a SAP Joule, right? So there is a SAP Joule. So what does it do is that whenever we type something on the chat, and if you want to have some in SAP, there are two things, right? One is the technical things, right? And another is the functional things, right? If you want to get something on the functional level, we just do prompt, and based on that, the Joule will see on the SAP layer, right, from the web. And if it doesn't get, then it will search from the different vendors. So it works independently. So we don't need to set a command to do this or not in the agentic AI. So that is only the beauty of agentic AI, right? So that's why this is hype and this is popular on that part.
Yep. Technical infrastructure and governance framework absolutely necessary to control this. Otherwise, going to be a beast out of control. So, thank you. You actually highlighted the risk and yet suggested some mitigation also. You didn't leave it half-handed. Just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rekhaji. Thank you.
Thank you. Shastri, are we going with the certificate?
Yeah,
Satish?
over to Satish for certificate part.
Jay, thanks for your excellent session covering entire agentic AI roadmap and everything. Yes, here is a token of appreciation from our side.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.